you say that acronym. Yeah, so let's finally get some tetraminos on the page. So let's create a new file, call that tetramino.js. Yes, so let's define it. So define function like that. Well, tetramino class.extend return tetramino. Yeah, no. Yeah, so that's cool. So the constructor of the tetramino take an ID of which type it should be. So, and we just create this shape object. So we say this is shapes, a new array like that. Then create a rotation that will be equal to 0. So we'll just have all of the different rotations and store that in the shapes array. And then the rotation here will have which index it should return when we like draw the tetramino and all the stuff like that. Anyway, and then we say this dot id equals id to uppercase, just so we can use both lower and lower letters. What to say? Yeah, small and the big letters. Anyway, and then we set the x position. You can actually set that to the x and the y position to y. Right here. And then we say x and y, as well as to assignment to the function, and then we can set them to 0 by default here. So that should be it. So let's create this inner shape object that will be equal to the shape definition of this .id. And what if you wonder what the shape definition is, we haven't created it yet, but it will be up here. So save our shape definitions, and that will be equal to everything like this. So here we have all the different pieces. We have the L piece, the I piece, let's say the T piece, the S piece, the Z piece, the O piece, and the J piece. So all of those will be equal to a bit string. So with zeros for now. So then, for example, if we want to define, so you can think of those as if they were together like this. I will show you here. You can think of them as if they were like this. So if you, let's say that we want to define the L piece, then we just put an 1 here and then 3 ones here to get the L piece, and then we rotate that 4 times to get all of the different orientations of that piece. And that's what we want to do here in the shape definitions. Anyway, so in here we just want to loop through all the shape definitions to say for S maybe in or SD in shape def. Then we want to set that shape def at that point equal to the shape def at that point, but we want to replace all of the blank spaces. So just put in this regular expression here, and you don't really need to know what that means, but that will just remove all the spaces in the string. Anyway, so here we got the shape. Then we create this object S here to like store the current shape. And then we create how wide this shape should be. So we say, so for example, the I piece and yeah, it's 4 long. So it should actually have more places like this. And I can actually do the I piece. That's really simple. That's just one row with ones. So to get how wide and how tall that piece is, we just take the square root of the length of the bit string, or of the string in the shape definition. So we say the math.square root square root of the shape, the length. Then we just loop through all the index or all of the shape definitions. So say for var I equals 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. For var j equals 0, j is less than n, j plus plus. Here we also say s at I equals to an empty array, like that. And then we say s at I at j is equal to the passed integer from the shape at I, let's see here, j plus I times n. That should be it, yeah. And then we just want to push that shape to the shapes array. Anyway, so then we want to make all of the different rotations of the shape. So we say for var r equals to 3 because we want to do 3 rotations. Then we also want to create this t object here. So we say while this.id is not equal to o, because the o piece we want to rotate that piece, and r minus minus is greater or equal to 0, like that. Let's see here. Yes, that's cool. So then we also want to rotate it. We can, this should probably be in the other direction. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know what I did there. Oh wait, no, let's keep it as it is. Sorry, this is right. Sorry for that, guys. Anyway, and the rotation code, it's a bit difficult. I looked that up on the internet before I did this video, but anyway, we just want to create this t to an empty array like this again. Then we want to loop through all the indexes again. So we say I plus plus, like that. T at I equals to an empty array, like that. For var j equals 0, j is less than n, j plus plus. T at I at j is equal to s at n minus j minus 1 at I. And that will rotate the piece for us. Then we just want to copy the current the rotated value and store that in s, so we can rotate it again, and then we'll want to push that shape to the shapes array. Anyway, so that's it for the construction of the tetramino. So let's see, we can create a function just so we can print it in the console for now, so we can say toString actually. And once again, we just want to loop through the array, so we say can say the L length is just no, let's just loop through all the things here. Let's create a string we want to return here. We'll say for var I equals 0, I is less than shapes. This shapes of length I plus plus for var j equals 0, j is less than this dot shapes at I dot length j plus plus. Then we want here we just want to add space to the thing. Oh, I see. We need to have 3 loops because the shapes have all different rotations for us, and so we loop through once, and then we want to add for each once we want to add a new row, and then do we want to loop through all the with k here as well. So we say, well, k is less than this shapes at I j a length k plus plus You can actually say well, S here is equal to this shape ZI, and then change this to S, yes. Now you can say so the string is plus equals S at J K question mark, because it's either 1 or 0. So if it's a 1, then we want to add, for example, the hash symbol. Else we want to add a dot like that, and then for each row we just want to add a new row again. So let's see, like that. I think that should be it. Yeah, so let's see if it works. So let's go back to the Tetris game and let's just import it. So we say source Tetris, Tetramino, yes. And we add it here as well, it's Tetramino. Well, tet equal new Tetramino. And let's create the LPs for now then, because we have created that shape definition. Yeah, so no errors, so let's log it out, console log. This we have misspelled, so let's see. Which row? Line 64. 64 is here. This. Yeah. So you can see how the different rotations of the pieces have L. It looks like this. There are 4 different rotations. And we probably just want to, let's do it like this instead. So let's see. Yeah, now it's right. Now we just have 4 different rotations. So let's see if we can test the eyepiece as well. We have created that definition. Yeah, so you can see the 4 different rotations of that course. And then let's say that we add O, then you can see that we don't get any rotation because we don't want to rotate the O piece. Anyway, let's create the rest of the shape definitions. So instead of having them on separated rows, we just want to add them in line here. So the T piece is just like this. It's really simple. Then we have the S piece, that's just 2's here and 2's here, 2 ones there, and this is the S piece. The Z piece is the opposite direction, like that, and then the O piece is just 2 ones here and here, and then the J piece is like that, but we'll actually have the rotation in this direction. Not that it matters that much, but yeah, I think that looks better, more intuitive in the code later on. So yeah, let's actually add on the Tetramino here the different IDs here. So we can say like this. How should we do this? Yeah, let's do it like this. Var IDs equals to an empty array, like that. And then say IDs dot push the shape, the name of the shape definition. Then we just loop through all the shape IDs here down here. So we say for var I equals 0, I is less than IDS, I plus plus. Then Tetramino of the IDS at I is equal to the IDS at I. Just to make it a bit more easy for us, so then we can add, for example, new Tetramino.o, and that should be the exact same thing. Yeah, here we can see the O piece. Let's see the S piece, for example. Whoa, I didn't mean to do that. yeah, but here you can see the different rotation of the SPs and all the stuff like that. So that means that it works. So that's cool. So now when we have done all of this, let's make it possible for us to like add the piece to the game. So let's see here, we can go back to the, I don't know what happened there. Go back to the game board to like create a draw function for the Tetramino, so also that we can draw the Tetramino to the screen using the sort of that block property that we added here in the constructor. But before we do that, so we will need to have a way to store the data of the game. So we create a new file, a new module or whatever called block. So let's define it. So define function again here. Yes. I'm getting the hang of writing this string of code, but anyway, so the constructor of the block, it will take an ID like that. Then we just want to call the its own function here that we call set type. It will take an ID, or it will be equal to none here. And then we want to set the type. What do you say? The set type functions work like this. So we take an ID, and here we say this.id is equal to the type of ID. If it's a number, then we want to make it equal to the ID. Also, we want to make it equal to the draw IDs of the ID dot to uppercase, like that. And then we want to say this dot solid. If the block is solid, then we want to say if this is ID is not equal to the draw IDs dot none. Anyway, so let's create the draw IDs. We say var draw IDs. And we have none. Can set that equal to 0. It doesn't really matter. And then the order that we want to specify here is important for this order here. So for example, we want the IPs to have the ID of 1 because we want it to have this cyan color. And then for example the, what do you say, the Z piece, we want to have that be equal to the ID of 2, and then this cyan or blue colored, we want that to be the J piece, and so on and so forth. Anyway, so let me just add those in real quick. That is not that fun to watch, so I'll be right back, guys. Yeah, so I just added the IDs here, as you can see, and I saw that I forgot to add, this should be a function call, so just add a parentheses there as well. Then I added, so we copy all of the IDs to the block object as well. Anyway, so that's it for the block file here. Anyway, so let's include that as well in the Tetris, and to make it a bit more easy to see what we have included and also like that, let's just create it like this instead. You can do it, yeah, this should be good. Anyway, so I have the block as well here. So let's see, like that, and then we'll need to have a way to store all of the different blocks. And to do that, we will create a block control. So we can say this dot block control, that should be equal to an empty array like that. And then down here we want to just call this dot reset. So the reset function, oopsie daisy, just where it looks like this. And inside of here we just want to populate the block control. So we say, but for we want to empty it first, and then we will say for var I is equal to 0, I is less than this dot columns I plus plus, for var I equals 0, j is equal to 0, j is less than this dot rows, j plus plus, this here was going to say this block controls add I is equal to an empty array, and this dot block control I j is equal to a new block, like there, right there. So we have now populated all of the block control with empty blocks. So let's see if it works. So in order for it to do that, we'll need to like draw the block to the screen, but we also need this block and the rows of, object. So let's add that as parameters to the Tetris function. So let's just say this dot calls equal to the column augment, and this rows equal to the rows augment there. And let's count here. So it's actually 10 rows wide and 22 squares tall. So let's add that to the thing in the main here. So let's see, 10 by 22, and if we reload, we got an error. So block 29, let's see. Yeah, sorry, ID there. Yeah, it works. So let's draw it. So we can go to the back to the Tetris, and then we just want to loop through all the block controls again. So we can say like this, and but we don't want to clear it. So here we just say if this dot block control, or we can say actually bar b equals this dot block control I j, like that, and then we say if the block is solid, so like that. We added that, right? Yeah. See if it's solid, then we just want to draw it to the game board. So we say this dot game board dot draw block, and we want to draw the to the context, of course. And we want to draw it draw the block, yeah, and we want to draw it at I and j position, like that. So let's create this method on the game board. Can do it down here. That took a context, a block, and then an x and a y position. Anyway, so we just want to set the ID equal to the block dot ID, like that. And then we just want to the x position, we want to add some constant here. Let's say 100 for now. This constant is of course wrong, but then also, and then we want to the x here times the width of each of the blocks. Let's just say 10 for now. We can figure out these constants later. And the same goes for the y position here. So let's see, 100y times 10, something like that. And then we just want to say context of draw image this dot, let's see here, this dot blocks, yes. Let's have this in constants instead. So we can say width, okay, or we can say size, actually, yeah. So let's see here, size, let's say 12. So for that, so we say ID for x position, that is the ID times the size, and for the height, that's just the size. Oh, sorry, that's 0. And then for the width and height, that is the size. So this is the where which pixels from this image we should grab. So that's just equal to that. Then on which position. So that should be something like this. Anyway, so if we load the page, it should work, yeah, just fine. But you can see we don't see any blocks because all of the blocks we have added has been empty. So let's add some. Yeah, let's say that we add the IPs to everything. Well, still something that isn't really working here, so let's see here. Let's just log out test message to see if it works. Console log. Tetris line 45. Oh, why can't I spell this right? Yeah, it really is working here. Wonder what's wrong here. I just debugged that, guys. Be right back. Yeah, I figured out the error. This should of course be capital big uppercase. Yeah, so you can see that it actually all drawn to the canvas. But 12 seems to be wrong here, while 13 seems to be a bit too small. So I actually did some testing before here, as I said. So the size is actually 12, but they are just 12 pixels apart. Oh, sorry. The size are actually 13, but they are just 12 blocks apart, so it should be 12 there and then 13 there. So that should be... oh. What is wrong now? Yeah, this should also be 12 here. Anyway, let's just hard code it in. Who cares? Yeah, now it's working, and now we just need to figure out the position. So let's see, 170 maybe. Well, a bit more. Let's say 80 then. Yeah, that seems good. Then for the Y position, that's probably something small, like 5 or something like that. Oh, once less. Yeah, 4. Okay, so that's cool. So now working way to